I don't know how to record with
Antenna.
There is a way.
Somebody already pushes.
You can put a
Could stay on your.
USB in it somewhere. There's a port on here and you can actually record to it.
Because both of those are disease resistant.
Yeah.
But I that may be an issue, get the sprinkler system put in.
Really easy, they just bore underneath it.
In Boxwood, pretty party.
The driveway was it, that's what hurt me.
Well, I will see.
What do you reckon, Chief? I did all that.
Because my Boxwood made it through our 90-degree night.
They are.
It just kind of bit a little bit.
This is like 10 hours of sun.
These are,
Yeah.
look what's around, what's around produce.
Yeah, we're talking about landscaping.
So every day I was in a different area.
Hey, Jacqueline.
I'm sorry.
I never stayed in the same city.
I was gonna ask you earlier if I needed to be in the chair over, I should have done it.
All right, 1 minute.
Somebody.
You know what? I went through and some of these chairs, just so you know, just so that I could experience that.
Road down this
Got
side.
here. I was here on Friday doing interviews. You know, so I'm gonna sit over here.
That's right. I was here when y'all were.
I'll go look. Those are sagebrush, I think.
Those are, yeah.
I'll have to, you
It is sagebrush or boxwoods to juniper.
I did. A couple,
That's
yeah.
about it.
Heather Head, right? Yeah.
How'd you like her?
Quite a lot. My wife knows her all as well also. When she walked in, she's like, wait a minute, I know you. And I was like, oh, yeah.
She's a good.
Yeah, she's a good person.
Good neighbor. Yep.
Did you lift this thing?
It's on that side. It's a kind of a flat lever.
Oh, I was looking on you.
And
Behind the roll.
you gotta sit up
Oh,
and press that lever, all that lever up.
Hey, people, it's such a need before we get here.
Did it go? I don't think.
Did it go?
I can't even-
Hey, I can handle it.
They put them down so the arms don't get scratched
like
up.
I went home.
I'm out.
Time being 6 o'clock, we call the special meeting to order, workshop to order, the budget workshop to order. Discussion of proposed budget for fiscal year 2023, 2024, and all things related thereto. That,
Thank you, Mayor, Council. It's not here. I'm taking the whole thing. The budget before you in your packet has accommodated all of those things discussed during our last workshop, including the continuing of the tree trimming project, which is significantly more expensive than what we'd originally budgeted last year. It's about a $14,000 cost. But again, we did get a lot of compliments on that. It really helped throughout the town. Purchasing of a new police cruiser to replace one of the aging units. We've got one of them. Actually, we got two over 100,000 miles and a lot of hours on them. Funding for the special events, including the Christmas tree lighting. We have already paid for the tree, so it should be here for this Christmas.
was that just,
Oh, 10,800 and
Oh,
$65 and some months.
okay, so it's a tree that's we store it and use it every year.
Oh, cool.
And it's like 50,
commercial. It's 18 feet. It can be added to.
One-time cost of tree that we.
right.
Yeah, BCDC funded that. Y'all approved that budget amendment last time. So that's, again, it's restricted fund and it is committed.
We
So,
stored at the church, so that's
Good.
nice, yeah.
and it is designed such that if the BCDC or the town council wants to, you can add a ring and you can add, I think it's 2 feet each section, and it can grow from there if that's the desire of the council. Adjustments to salaries as discussed during the August 15th workshop, and then more close actual costs for the upcoming fiscal year. We had done worst case scenario, so there was some savings in there. But if you look side to side, the budget, really the big number is your general fund now has, where am I? You still have 174,851 revenue over expenses and transfers available. So the biggest change was the insurance and benefits. By using that worst case scenario during the initial budget process, we saved about 80,000 on actuals
Good.
because they came in really close to that 12%. Shannon, what is it? There's a resolution we'll be bringing forward. Is it a resolution?
For the budget.
No, for the savings on our
Oh, that's
benefits.
a resolution agreement that we will be bringing forward at the next meeting. And what it does, it's going to allow the city to get the sales tax or premium sales tax from our benefit premiums reimbursed to the towns. Since the rest of the town items that we purchase are tax exempt, this is allowing our benefit premiums to be tax exempt as well.
So it's a no cost, but it is a benefit and actually brings those insurance rates down even more. So. You know,
So we've got basically 175,000 that we can either do other things with, or it can go to.
just drop to your reserve fund for projects throughout the year. And, but yes, you still have that available to present a balanced budget. And again, we've accommodated everything. Administrative staff, front desk, we have not discussed anything about that position. When we looked at moving all of the sergeant and police staff, y'all discussed changing my salary. And as well as our court administrator, we have not talked about the permit clerk at all. So that position right now is static. So it's something y'all.
Juries.
Yes,
Okay.
Sherry's.
Where's she currently at? 2 things. What is she at and how long she's in here?
57,
Like 8 months or.
57?
Is it sitting on my, is it sitting on the printer? I just printed it. I'm sorry. I literally just printed those numbers out and have stuck them somewhere. It's not there. Let me give you a precise number. I'm gonna go pull that off the printer real quick, if that's okay, Mayor. It's literally sitting there.
We're gonna go to an October review schedule, then should be subject to being reviewed and annual, COLA increase.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about what the comparison to other markets or I'm sorry, to other towns that are similar to the way that we operate.
I'm
And
not sure what that is.
I'm not sure what that is either. I mean, happy to discuss an adjustment, but we need to make sure that we're.
Also do a mid-year after review if you wanted to,
Yeah, we could.
March.
Because I think it's only like a month and a half off.
50,000 is where that position is sitting right now.
But we don't know how that compares to other cities.
We have not researched the permit tech. And again, ours is a little different. She's permit tech. She does help Andrea with court some. She's a little bit more than just that at the front desk.
Some comparison before the next
Yeah.
council meeting.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we gotta approve the budget. We can't be doing raises in October, right? I mean,
If they're approved, yes, but no, I wouldn't want to just come back with a budget amendment in October after you just
That's what
approved the
I was-
budget.
okay,
But now that pardon me, this gives me a chance to talk about our recommendation is we continue to discuss and y'all do not approve tonight. You can do the public hearing that gives us until that next meeting where you set the tax rate to clean up anything else that we have before you adopt that budget. So they say it's fairly unusual to do the public hearing, which is tonight, and then adopt the budget.
You're suggesting that we do the public hearing tonight. You come back to us with this additional or change.
That
may-
information and you can change and adopt.
And then change and adopt to the next meeting.
Yes, sir.
At the
19th?
19th meeting.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
So it doesn't slow us down at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
We're
good
just
with that.
getting-
I'd prefer
We're just
to
getting
move that
real
way.
close to, this is a process where we get more refined numbers each
Sure.
time we bring them back to you, and that will be good on.
Just do it one time without another budget amendment.
What do you think about that, Mayor?
yeah, just talk, yeah, I think we can talk about it.
And Dad, how long has she been here?
February, she started, I don't know the exact date, maybe the end of
It
February.
was near the end of February.
So about 6 months
So
right now.
6-7 months.
Yep. So the only thing there is I would not, that position, I wouldn't want to go 18 months. If y'all gave some latitude for me to slide that scale or do it at her annual review date.
A really useful piece of information would be similar towns of our scale are.
Absolutely.
And even though I know that she's covering multiple positions, if we're under rate for the position as itself, and then we know that she's carrying other loads also, there's even more of a reason to make an
And
adjustment.
if she's doing a good job. Yeah.
Right, which she
Yeah.
is. At least
When you get your feedback on performance and all that.
Now, also that 174 and change, y'all could place that into the streets non-restricted. If you wanted to, not just leave it hanging and dropping into your
streets non-restricted, meaning we can pull it in. take
You,
it-
it can go in and out, but
Yeah.
it's still designated as if you have a streets project, you don't have to amend your budget. But it doesn't mix it with the sales tax, the street maintenance sales tax. So again, those we are going to continue to keep separated. We don't want to commingle those funds. Since the street maintenance is very restricted on what you can do with it.
Anything else right now that I'd want to put into the budget?
And for, is there anything else out there that,
There's two things we haven't completed. I still don't have all ages on our AC units, so we do have capital improvement in here. I could do something, get estimates on that as well. I have not completed that. And we are having computer issues right now. We have apparently been purchasing basically home PCs. And those don't work for us. We open lots and lots of documents. And so we've got two brand new computers in and they're getting the blue screen of death. So we're going back to Agent IT. We're going to be made whole on that, but I don't think we've got the right machines.
So that was Agent IT's deal.
That was whatever was, and that didn't come to my office when we did the technology buy, but it will this time. Of course, Shannon's also got a lot of computer knowledge, and I know we have some computer knowledge on council as well, but we just don't have I don't think we have the right machines for the type of users we are. And so we may need to make an adjustment there. Not a lot, but some.
yeah, are these two things that I feel like I'm echoing really bad?
We are echoing tonight.
The aging AC units, so the the fund that we have set up there, as well as the PCs. Can you have that information by our meeting next week or in 2 weeks?
Yes, sir.
I mean, before we just move it into roads, I think that if we can put those funds where they need to be to make sure we're getting the right machines in the office and the right AC units, so we don't go through what we did this year, then
You could split the 175 up too and put part of it you could.
Absolutely.
So we might want to put part in the AC computer fund and then part of the, yeah.
Some of the equipment, just split it, put it into it so I can move it later on.
is there a master volume on the system? Because it's these speakers that are feeding back into the microphones.
Me,
Not you, it's all of us.
I'll talk loud on the phone.
Well,
Is this better?
much better.
There we go. There is a master volume.
Yeah, I think that either one of those options.
Then we could get the distribution. Prior.
Sure, even estimates, right? It doesn't need to be, if we
Right,
get
well-
close, so we can make sure we put enough into each one of those funds to cover down on those couple of things that we have
Absolutely.
outstanding. I think that'd be better than just moving it collectively into one fund to have to do an amendment in 6 months to replace the ACs when,
Yeah.
or I guess 8 months, 10 months.
we have 2 units on it. On the HVAC system. Got
3 plus that little one that goes to their property room.
Is Environmental Works.
That's who we've been using.
You need for that side of the building?
There are 3,
There's 5 units out there total, I think.
I think there are 5 condensers. I
think
thought,
2 are for
but
the police
Chief's gonna go
station,
count for us.
1 is for the computer room.
Tell me how many,
2
Chief.
are for administration.
Contacted David Piot yet.
5.
There's 5 total.
5 total.
One of them's the little one, it's brand new. Yeah. The little one, I think, is the server room. It is a server room. So if that one's brand new, that's probably good.
But yes, I would get a quote from,
I think it would be good to have some money in a fund in case we need to replace a unit.
we wouldn't just go replace, but having it there already, knowing that they're aging and knowing the issue we had before would probably be a wise decision.
When you go get bids, keep in mind, you got an outside unit.
Got the, yep,
Air handler and compressor.
If you're gonna change one, you might as well change.
yes, I agree.
And I bet you could call Work Environmental and have them look every one of those up. They can tell you when they put them in because they keep track of all of ours when they, so.
I'd actually hope to have that tonight, I'm gonna admit, but with my root canal, it kind of threw me off. I apologize.
That'll.
It was a root canal that went sideways. So, but yes, I will have those numbers for you by that next meeting.
Is that it?
Mayor, that's, again, we were pretty close before. Again, it's just refining and getting something that, again, we don't have to come back in November and say, hey, I need a budget amendment for that
Right.
budget you just approved.
Okay.
I hate that.
So any questions on the budget or anything? All right,
No, I'm comfortable.
We talked about.
okay. So time being 6:13, we'll adjourn the budget work session. Now, we can't start the other one until 6:30, is that correct?
We can start and talk about the consent agenda and everything. The only thing I'm worried about is the budget public hearing. We can't call that to open till
Until
6:30.
Okay. All right, I'll drag my feet and I'll read these agenda items real slow. Okay, so time being 6:13, I call a special meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
public participation. Pat, if you would like to speak to the council, please fill out the form and hand it to Shannon. Please indicate on the form if you wish to speak during a discussion of a specific agenda. I remember council members are not allowed to answer questions during public participation, and please remember to state your name and address for the record. There you go. I'm good. Good.
Well, we're glad you're here.
You're going too fast.
Anything that's on your mind.
It's my habit.
Yeah, consent agenda. This agenda consists of non-controversial housekeeping items required by law. Items may be approved with a single motion. Items may be removed from the consent agenda by a council member by making such a request prior to motion and a vote in the consent agenda. Number one, consider approval of the August 15th, 2023 workshop and regular meeting minutes. Number two, consider approval of a resolution designating Denton Record Chronicle as the official newspaper of the town of Bartonville for fiscal year 2023-24. Number three, consider approval of a contractor services agreement with Brad Hodges for gas well inspection services beginning October 1, 2023 through September 30th, 2024, and authorize town administrator to execute same on behalf of the town. Number four, consider approval of the contractor services agreement with Annalise Griffith, RSDS for OSSF services beginning October 1, 2023 through September 30th, 2024, and authorize town administrator to execute same on behalf of the town. Number five, consider approval of contractor services agreement with Bureau of Veritas North America, Inc. for health services beginning October 1, 2023 through September 30th, 2024, and authorize town administrator to execute same on behalf of the town. And number six, consider approval of contractor services agreement with America's Code Enforcement for code enforcement services beginning October 1, 2023 through September 30th, 2024, and authorize town administrator to execute same on behalf of the town. Do I have to mention, does anybody want to remove an item? I noticed I do, because we've never done that.
Yes, it's procedure.
No, I've never said, would you like to remove? So what I'm about to say now is, would anyone like to remove an item from the consent agenda?
No.
I don't want to remove something, but I do have a point that I'd like to make.
Okay.
Number one, regarding the first ranch agreement. Yes, sir. The very first thing you say is that I excused myself, but when you tallied up the vote, you included that I voted on
I will
that
fix that.
as 5-0, so it should be just for the legal record.
Yep, absolutely. That's a good point.
Thank you.
No, that's.
So that's the only cleanup I have.
That's good.
Yes, thank you.
So do I have a motion to remove an item from the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve agenda items number 1 through 6.
Do I have a second?
Was that too fast?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Action items. Discuss and consider approval of the proposed annual budget for Bartonville Community Development Corporation for fiscal year 2023, 2024. You got about 10 minutes, Deb.
I will not take that long. Y'all have already seen this one because it's part of your budget packet, but this statutorily, you have to have a separate reading of the budget, if you will, or consideration of the budget.
Let's go through it line item by line item. That would get us.
I don't mind, but some things to point out though, sales tax revenue, if you see the difference in 2022 and 23 and proposed is considerably lower because they will now be, those funds will be going into the street maintenance sales tax. So that's why that is reduced. It's not any negative on our projections for revenues that we're going to see a downturn. Is just the actual percentage, and it will be for the full fiscal year.
It's a
Redistribution that the voters approved on. Again, the other big difference is the interest earned. We're now indexed. We were not previously. So we're doing a lot better on that money that's sitting there.
Huge
It was a lot.
change, huge number.
Yeah.
100%. It's a good catch.
Other than that, they're primarily doing most of the same things they were doing before. Consulting fees are a little lower. If I'm doing BCDC, I don't use consultants that much because I did it for so many years. There will still be some for traffic counts and those types of things. But as far as just general consulting, I don't find those incredibly useful. If you don't have the experience, absolutely. I'm not knocking anybody for their use of them. I just don't need them. Then the Old Town improvements, I don't know if we pointed that out last time. I think we did. There's a difference in the maintenance and repairs, which they're going to continue to do, but they would really like to see an improvement on that corner. What I've heard is, and I believe it's true by the way the landscaping is performing, they basically threw dirt down over asphalt and planted trees and all of that, and those trees will not live. So we continue to lose trees. That's the corner with the horses at McMakin and 407. So this is just an initial number. They think it may go higher, but they'd like to see of course, the horses polished and that area cleaned up. But we're going to have to do a couple of core samples to see if that's what's going on.
Plant some trees, maybe.
Well, again, if we don't get rid of the pavement underneath,
Well,
if it's sitting there.
Those trees have been there though. I mean, those horses have been there for what, 20 years? Pretty long time. I mean, I don't know if it's drought but that's good to look and see.
They do want to explore it just because they've heard it from multiple sources. That may not be what they did, but that certainly appears to be that, and depending on how much dirt they put down, but we continue to lose trees there apparently pretty regularly and they replant them. So I don't know what the oldest tree is there. Yes, I'll tell you all you need to know. And the thought was, if that pavement is down there, they wouldn't need to pull it all up. But if you wanted to plant trees strategically, you could pull up an area that would allow those trees to be placed in such a way that they would be able to get below the. So
Figure out what the future drip ring of the tree.
yes, just go around it. So again, that's what that number is. Because we have, I mean, that's kind of a proud point for the town, and it is not looking proud right now. and people are noticing it.
Well, we got 2 years of drought.
Yes, that is tough. That is,
Some trees too.
well, we had the well went out twice. So
There's a lot of stuff that's.
there's a lot of things going on.
Could be attributed to tree loss. But
Yes.
You had mentioned the tree trimming.
Yes, sir.
Town's doing. We still have some dead trees. Across from where Floppy lives
Mm-hmm.
and across from the Wallings farm, that White House that they recently developed. There's a tree in there that's died and it's.
We're not cleaning up the bar ditches though for people.
No, but we should be giving out notices.
Notices, yes.
So that's why I'm telling just.
To clarify again, the tree trimming program really goes above and beyond what the ordinance calls for. You know, our ordinance doesn't really call for everybody to keep the canopy clear for delivery trucks. So that's really what that is. Dead trees and things like that still fall on the property owner to maintain or take down.
Aqua property too. There's a bunch across in the log cabin. There's probably 10 in the ditch there. They need a notice too.
Yes.
Straight across from the Wallings place. It won't be another couple of months and I think.
It'll be in the road.
It's gonna fall down on the road. It's
Another-
deteriorating rapidly.
Another area I think that now would be an opportune time to maybe address this is the Kathy Rockwall. The entranceway there on Jeter Road,
Yeah, that's
there's about 9 or 10
Yeah.
pecan trees
Yeah,
there.
yeah, that new Knight, Mr. Knight or whoever.
Rob Knight.
Yeah,
Rob Knight.
Mhm.
okay.
Take a tractor and just pop in things pretty easily.
And
So we can't really vote on this until 6:30, correct?
So we
this
can
one you
vote
can.
on this
But
one,
not the roll.
correct. Based on the last meeting, when we changed the meeting start date to 6:30.
Yeah,
That's why we're using 6:30 in our publications now, and that's why we can't do any public hearings before 6:30.
okay.
But your ordinance now allows if y'all decided to do a different time, but when we're just doing paper notifications and we haven't gotten that pre-authorization from y'all, we still do it at 6:30.
for-
Any more discussion on the BCDC budget? Excuse me.
No,
No,
I really.
do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the BCDC the proposed fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Number 2, public hearing to receive comments and to consider proposed annual budget for the town of Bartonville fiscal year 2023, 2024. Thad?
This is the one that has to wait or.
You can't open the public hearing, so I don't know if you want to,
Discuss it, but not.
Y'all
open
can-
the hearing.
Correct.
So Thad can present, then we can't open the hearing until 6:30.
Mayor, council, again, this will be the public hearing to receive public input on what the proposed budget is as of today. Again, we have the original on the website. Does that get replaced by this one? Not until it's approved, is it?
No, the next one that goes on the website
Yes,
is.
it's going to be the approval. So y'all will see iterations. People may click on the original one that was submitted to the town secretary per town ordinance and state law. But they won't necessarily see the iterations unless they call and ask for them until they see the final one that y'all approve.
It's also in the packets on the website.
Yes. So they can see it there if they are so inclined, but some people just click that and wonder what's happened. One thing that's as part of this buildup is we can talk about the need for supermajority again at the next council meeting, because that is when you set your tax rate. And you will be adopting the budget. So we will need 4 of the 5 here. This is a tough time.
I will be present.
Checking now.
I think Jim may be, but that's our
Will
4.
not be here.
On 19th either. Poor guy.
I will be here. So yes, we'll have 4.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll have our quorum.
But again, as part of the presentation, we have made iterations to the budget as we've received council input. And those are reflected in your budget tonight that you will be having the public hearing on. And then again, at your next meeting, we will have those other items we've discussed, including costs for AC repairs, replacements, computer as well as computer replacements for, again, the proper machinery we need to function in this office. I see engineering documents, Sherry does. Our court system is incredibly busy and sometimes it takes Andrea 15 minutes to open a document. So that's just not, she's still working the entire time, but it's real frustrating for her when she's trying to handle
trouble
things like
too,
that.
Chief? Okay.
One of the new- Yeah, the blue screen of death is the brand new one
The
over
2 new
there.
ones that we just got.
Ew.
Third thing on that list is the comparison for Sherry.
Comparison,
Yes.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Brand new computers are already dead.
Pardon?
Brand new computers are already dead.
That very slow brand.
Yeah, they are home all-in-one machines purchased for a town business of super users. I did try to rectify that when I first saw it on my desk.
Well, that was probably an agent IT discussion. I don't know. That's another reason maybe switch computer firms. I don't know.
It's something to talk about. Again, they should, regardless of input, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say regardless of input, they should know better than to recommend or authorize those. They should have talked somebody into, again, that didn't run through my office, but it will next time because right. So what, do y'all have any questions for me on this budget that you're in about 2 minutes gonna hold a
So
public
this is gonna
hearing.
raise overall about 17,000 dollars or something like that
Yes, ma'am.
from last year roughly. It'll add a little bit more to our budget.
More property tax.
Yes, sales taxes are projected to go up. I'm conservative again, every other day you hear that there's flashing signs of a recession and then the next day it's not happening. So I'm always conservative on that side.
And the figures that we've given you are with the $40,000 homestead exemption, but on the November constitutional election, people can vote to make that exemption go up to 100,000. So our following year could
Might
be
be different.
different in the property taxes revenue.
Making somebody.
Yeah. Well, I seen them putting those things out.
Survey last week,
And there should be more homes.
and they're not small.
No, they're all small, so there should be more homes and construction people.
They're
There's an update on the Rockwall property. The Bob, what's his name, Rob Knight or Bob Knight? What, Bob, yeah. He purchased that like 181 acres of that 281.
At the front. He purchased the
He
ones.
purchased part of the front, the 2 acres and the 5 acre tract. He took all the 5 acre tract.
Yeah. I knew
And he
that.
moved up and got a nice, he's got a total of 180 acres of what he purchased. As of this week, Kathy and it's got a crew out there, they're putting a fence up along the Saddlebrook, the white board fence in order to keep the cattle in. Because those cattle are out there, I told her the other day, you gotta start feeding them. Because they've eaten everything that's green out there except the weeds. So there's another 100 acres up there that they're fencing in that we're gonna switch the cattle up front now.
Okay.
But I'm not sure, has he approached the town about putting a building out there on that piece of property yet? Because what I'm hearing from her is that he's wanting to use the existing foundation that's back there behind the building and build another house on it and then put a road in coming off of Jeter. That's the word that he's telling Kathy. Now, whether this comes to fruition or not, I'm not sure, but it's just kind of food for thought.
Okay. Yep, back on the budget real quick. Let me go ahead and open the public hearing. We can wrap this up. No more questions about budget that anybody can think of?
Nope.
Okay, time being 6:30, open the public hearing. Would anyone like to speak in favor? Would anyone like to speak in opposition? Time being 6:31, I'll close the public hearing. No discussion.
No, ma'am.
Motion? Oh, wait, Keith, were you gonna say something? Okay, have a motion?
With their motion, because we're gonna move the approval to next.
You need a
Council.
motion to approve, and it's a roll call motion, to postpone the vote to the September 19th meeting.
So I would make a motion to postpone the vote on our 2023 fiscal year budget to the town council meeting scheduled for the 19th.
All those in favor? Oh, wait, roll call. Shannon?
Mayor Pro Tem Chapman,
Yay.
Councilmember Sams,
Hey,
Councilmember Crandall.
Aye.
Councilmember Aaron's.
Yeah.
Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you. Future agenda items,
Budget.
other than budget. Okay, time being 6:32, we'll adjourn the meeting.
Right.
Thank you for coming.
It's almost a record.
I know.
I think we had 21 minutes.
These- I
Just
know.
summer, but
Thank you all for all the hard work.
yeah, fantastic work. Our pleasure.
Still got a little more to go, but that's.
Well, just the back and forth on the budget has been
Thank you.
nice.
You definitely have to love numbers to do all this.
Thank you.
this is.
I actually do. I took some accounting and,
Yeah.